Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Looks like the microphone is working okay. I'm looking at the little bar thing there. I'm running, by the way, this computer that's running, I think you know that is the B-Link. And maybe I should try to put that Dell computer, leave the monitors and things the way they are and just replace the there was a reason though. Why? What is the reason that I took the Dell off line? I need a new computer. I'd like to have one of the new Apple computers. I'm 82. I'll be 83 in March of this year. But anyway, I just about moved again. I just moved these monitor, the computer, everything. I just moved them from over here back to over here, which I've done this, I don't know how many times. And then I thought, don't do it, Jim. Don't do it. You've done it too many times. Well, it was because of this microphone situation. But I think I can live with. I'm living with this okay. So maybe for a few days I'll not move anything. Desk over here is covered with stuff because I haven't put everything away that I can put away. Of course, here today is now. It's okay. It's going to be here in 7 minutes. It's going to be the 4th. It's going to be January 4th, and then the next day is the day that officially here, this apartment complex has a deal with Spectrum, yuck, for high-speed internet here. And it's going to be interesting because yesterday, or was it today? I think it might have been today at, I can't remember, maybe it was yesterday. The office said, at 9, when they opened at 9 a.m., people would go down there and they could get information about it. And they could sign up, because they add it to the lease, man. Of course, that's, legal. They have to take care of themselves. They put stuff, on the lease. I mean, things every year you have to sign a new lease, and they put things on there no matter what it is, and they add it on there to protect themselves. And of course, this is not just one apartment complex. The company owns a whole bunch. There's at least another one, and maybe more in this, same company, fairly close. And then nationwide they have places. So, but anyway, so they have legal people. Might be one corporation. Well, not one. There's more than one. Might be one that like security. Let's take that as an example. Here in the United States, if you go to shopping, the big shopping malls, which are about to go out of business, big shopping malls are going out of business, closing, which people didn't think would happen, but because of Amazon and all these kind of things are changing. But okay, got sidetracked again, Jim. Concentrate. They're going to think you're old. So anyway, they have maybe if you travel around and you go to some mall someplace, and you're going to see security with, white shirts on, and various things like that. And like when I worked at the shopping mall, at a mall down in Florida, the company, the corporation, big corporation, and they were a security company, and they specialized in malls. And then, let's see, well, there's Wackenhut, and they specialize in, well, they have a little bit of a history. Some guys that were in the CIA, or I don't, maybe not the CIA, the FBI and things. They started up a corporation, you know what I mean? And they have a lot of, they try to hire, you know, but they charge more. They try to hire, you know, better people, people that have some type of police background or military background or something like that. In Miami, they were, if I remember correctly, they were the security people for the transit authority. Um, then I worked someplace else. Where was that? So anyway, uh, they specialize. By the way, the movies, what, Mall Cops or whatever, I think they came out with two of them. They were actually kind of funny and kind of realistic in a way, really. It was amazing. And unfortunately, yeah. Um, but, well, specialization is good, and training, you know, specialized training or whatever, but um, they, uh, well, like when I worked in Miami, a whole bunch of them were, you know, using the company. I forget the name of it. I got my pay things in the file someplace here. I need to throw them away. I don't need them, you know. But they, you know, the headquarters or whatever, I guess, sends out a thing. Okay, all the malls, you know, are to do the blizzard training this month. This month it'll be blizzard training. Okay, I was working in, you know, Miami, Florida, and so we had to do. I was working with guys who had never seen snow. I mean, you know, or ice. To what I deliberately did, which was kind of stupid, but that's kind of the way I am. I mean, it got kind of cold there, and the shift I was working or whatever. That's when I had to put take the chains down. You know, when daytime rolls around, I would put the chains down or whatever, and I would do it, you know, without putting my coat on, and I was cold. But then the guys, oh, put your coat on, Jim. Oh no, I come from Missouri. This isn't anything. I just, you know, just doing it, you know. It's a good thing I didn't die of pneumonia or something, and then people would say, dumb, stupid, trying to, you know. But, so, now I don't see, they don't have, well, I'm not going to say who has security and who doesn't have security, but, when, man, the mall security down there in Florida. You know, I worked hospital security for 30 years. Okay, I worked at 9 years at a small hospital, and I had to file a grievance to get there, you know, and I won. I worked 9 years because the director of security did not want me working at, you know, the hospital that I wanted to work at, because he was just, you know, not a good director of security. I've mentioned it. But anyway, I worked, 9 years, and it was a small hospital. It's still a small hospital. And they really did not have the staffing. You know, the big hospital, the major hospital, you know, they built that small hospital out there in my hometown. And then they took over most of the hospitals in Kansas City, Missouri. A for-profit organization, you know, took over, you know, and They didn't do away with security, but they replaced the security that they had with, contract security, and just um, uh, so where am I going? You think they can tell that I've lost track of what I was talking about? Um, so mall security there at Florida at that mall was unbelievably bad. The idea is, you have a major corporation, and then they have, the money and finances and, resources, and they can, make up policies and that kind of stuff. But that would be good if you had people that, you know, I'm not going to go through some of the stories, stupidity because of, well, I'll mention several, They had a check-off list. The dispatcher would have a check-off. Okay, it's time for you to check the vending machines, the Coke machines or whatever that were located mainly outside down there of the mall, at the doors outside. And so you had to check. I checked them without being called and told to check them. But they would also call, it would be on their list. And there was one time, like 3 a.m. in the morning or whatever, and I called the dispatcher and I said, "There's a suspicious party here, and I'm going to be watching this person." I talked to the person, that was suspicious. He said he brought food down for his girlfriend who was working overnight and such, stocking or doing something like that. And I knew, and I said, "Oh, okay." Then I just sat over there, and then I called, and said, and I said, "Turn the camera over here, camera number." I knew which camera it was, like 2211 or something, and aim that at this car on this level. And okay. And then right away he called, the dispatcher called and said, "Time to check the vending machines." And I said, "I'm going to stand by here and watch this guy. Something's going to happen here." "No, it's time to check the vending machines." So I went and checked them really quick, not the thorough check that I would normally have done, which was extra and beyond, because. And then I come back to check on him, and he's written all over her car, I forget what he wrote, "Fuck you, you lying bitch," and that kind of stuff. And he, wrote on her car and that kind of stuff. So then I wrote up a report on the thing, and then I went to dispatch and I said, "Let's look at the video for that." The dispatcher never bothered to reach up and turn the, it happened to be the supervisor of the shift that was there filling. I'm not sure if he was, anyway, stuff like that happened all the time. And then that's what I was going to talk about. I worked there a year or so. I was sick with colds and flu the entire year that I worked there. Okay, I worked in Missouri at I worked there altogether 30 years at different hospitals, but I worked at this one in my hometown for 9 years. And I had one time and I didn't miss work, where I actually went to the doctor and got some prescriptions, but I continued to work. And I was helping the nurses by if they did sutures or whatever, and I would put the stuff in, I'd glove up, but I'd put the stuff in the hazmat containers and do that kind of stuff, and I'd do other things, and I never got sick except once. And that one time, they never came out and really checked on me, the supervisors or whatever. But I never missed work. And also, since it was, they had a main hospital and in a the worst neighborhood in Kansas City. I was shot at one time when I was leaving work from there, They hit my car. a Volkswagen Rabbit, and it hit just on the guttering or whatever. It hit right there. Didn't hit me though. They oh so okay, yeah. So there was just two of us that worked at this small hospital. They had nobody on the day shift. I'd said in the past, that I wasn't going to work a security job if they didn't have security around the clock. But I went ahead and worked it. It was in my hometown, and I could see just about where I lived from the job. But anyway, I would tell them, for vacation and holidays and those kind of things, I'd say, just schedule me, off when it's convenient for you guys to send somebody out here. And I just bent over backwards with that kind of, doing that kind of a thing. So anyway, this time I was sick, I actually went to a doctor and got some prescriptions for it. But I continued to work. Well, what I did there at that point for a while, and that was the point where, in making up the schedule, because they weren't very inventive, there was just two of us totally that worked there, and nobody worked day shift for security. And so the other security officer and myself I forget, I think it might have been Saturday and Sunday or whatever, one of us came in at 10 p.m. and the security officer was there, went off at midnight or whatever it was. And so we had an overlap. And it never worked out to our, never worked out. But but anyway, so I never missed any work. And I always told, work, hey, schedule me off for vacations and what, here. I don't think anything ever came up that I said, hey, I'd like to get such and such off. It might have in 9 years, but I don't remember doing it. And so I was really sick, just one time out there. But I continued to work. I came in, I still did my job. And anyway, so we had this overlap for no special reason. It was just because people doing the scheduling didn't, security, somebody that thinks they know what they're doing, So the other security officer came in, and I said, I've been sick, and I said, so I'm going to go ahead and you're here. I'm going to go ahead and go home. So I timed out, and I put on my activity sheet or whatever. And then one of the guys at one of the supervisors at the main, hospital security or whatever, he didn't like me, and so he sent another supervisor out to check on me, or whatever, and he came out, and when he came out, I went to the security office, with him out there, and that my medicines were lined up there, and he was actually a good supervisor. He wasn't the major supervisor or whatever. And he went back and said, well, Jim, I went out to check on him, and, I'm not sure what he said. He was awake and doing his job and everything, and he had, went back, and the director of security, asked, and I forget what it was, but that was like, they went out to after, I worked for them I think it was 19 years altogether. And they sent somebody out to check on me, in that situation. Kind of stupid. So, anyway, I'm looking forward to getting switched over to, they're claiming we're going to get 500 down. Now what I have to do is wait until it's now the 4th. It's 12:11 a.m. So on the 5th I can call the internet service person. And this will be the last I call and tell them to send me the modem. And they'll send the modem to me. And then I just plug it, into the wall or whatever. And so then we'll see how that goes. I'm really interested to see how many other people sign up. Maybe I can ask. I don't know if they might want to keep it a secret. I don't know. But one way I can tell a little bit will be like for the Wi-Fi, networking. You can kind of tell. Like I changed my, like I've had Howard, maybe Howard for the name of it. What would I've done? I can't remember over the years. Set up 2 of them, and by a number, one would be whatever the speed is or something like that. But an awful lot of these people, they use the thing that the installer or whatever, puts, so it'll be, Spectrum, something or other. But some people, create something in their name or something. So I'm interested to see how many people are going to sign up for this. Spectrum is not liked not by very many people. I'm sure there's some people who have had success with it, and it hasn't been screwed by them. And so I never thought I'd go back to them, but I'm back. But it's going to be, supposedly it's going to be like, I don't pay, Spectrum on our rent here, and I don't know how they work this deal out, how it works out. And 2, it's going to be interesting because I kind of wonder about, like, you sign up with somebody and they say, oh, well, you're going to get, 25 down and, 5 up or something like that or whatever, and then it doesn't work out, that way. It'll be interesting to see, since this is a deal between this major corporation and, this big, they have this apartment complex company, they have all over the United States apartment things. It'd be interesting to see if, are the modem that they're going to send out here is they really going to produce, is there some settings in it where it's really going to open up the bandwidth, if they've got enough coming in here, is it going to open it up or something? It'd be interesting to see. If I'm going to be paying, I think it's $60 a month, I think it is, for, it'd be great if I got 500 down. I really don't need 500. I'm not going to use 500, but it'd be nice. But if it's 400, okay. Now, if it's a steady 300 and nothing below 300, that would be great too, but we'll see. I've got, what do I have now? Which I haven't had very long. Let me show you on that. That's Verizon, I think, yeah. So let's go up here to speed test, okay. Now keep in mind this is midnight, you know. So let's see what we get. And I'm supposed to get 300. And I don't think I ever get 300. No, sometimes I get 180 or something. Whoops, it's not doing the upload ping. Come on, are you going to do it? This is not supposed to do this. And keep in mind it's midnight. Should be fewer people using it. I'm going to refresh this. And there we go, it's doing it. Okay. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. And that's what it usually is, like the upload, you know, speed. And that's usually what it is. You know, I don't need 500 down, and I don't need 400, you know. I'm going to do this for the heck of it. You know, them putting things next to this probably is not the best way to measure the, you know, the speed. Now this is download speed. Look at this. You know, and even this, I can make it, but if I'm paying for it, I want to at least get some of it. And I do want to try again. I'm going to try it because several of you have asked, you know, for live streaming. And when I get this 500, I'll try to go back. Well, I'll try to go back and do live streaming. It'd be nice if I was getting some money. They actually owe me money now. I've actually, after all these years, have qualified. And but I've mentioned this. I can't get Google AdSense to. You know, they're just not happy with my state ID. They're not happy with my state ID, and what's the other thing? I can't remember what it is. Oh, my bank account or something like that. They're not happy with that for a stupid reason. And there's just no way for me to, I've tried, I've spent hours and hours and hours, and I can't get any help. Now eventually, and I'd like to get it taken care of because my ex-wife, she says they're never going to give you any money, you know. And she just keeps saying, I keep telling her, no, they will. And she says, well, they don't want to give you money. I said, no, they want to give us money because they're making money, because we're the reason they're making money. And the more money that, you know, the more we do, the more views we get and all that kind of stuff. And of course she's very, you know, negative, so. I'm going to be 83 in March. Probably what's going to happen is I'm going to start bringing in, you know, $100 or $150 a month or something like that, which for us is actually would be really, really nice, you know, because I'm on Social Security, and then I get $175 a month, and that's it. And ex-wife and I are having to share an apartment because neither one of us can really afford to live, you know, without doing that, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm afraid I'm 82, going to be 83 here pretty quick. I've got some problems, medical problems, you know, and probably what's going to happen is I'm going to start making some money from YouTube, and then I'm going to die. So I think to me that's the way it's going to work. Of course I'm going to die. We're all going to die. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. It's midnight. I feel like I can do a little bit of work around here and try to put some of this stuff away and organize it better, because like I've told you a dozen times, when I want to do something or when I need something, I can't find what it is, and I have to dig through containers and boxes and things and find it, and I throw the stuff on my bed, and then I finally find the little screw I need or the antenna that I need or whatever it is. And if I can I need another table. I've got two of these cheap tables, but they work fine. I call them a desk, but they work as a desk. I've got, one going this way, one going this way. And I need another one. And too, it's easy for me with my arthritis to put these things together, because, it comes, needs to be assembled. So I take the top out, put the top on I turn it over so the bottom is facing up, and then I take the legs out, and then I can just stand there and put the legs on it and turn it over, and it's, other than having to do something else, like put a chair together. And I put a lot of these chairs together. And this one is, I don't know how long, it might outlast me, maybe this time though. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.